A few days ago, I was contacted by an artist named Heem who has a new rap video out, and in that video, he's wearing a shirt that I made for him. How cool is that, guys? Heem asked me to make a hat to go along with the shirt that I made for him. So I sat down in front of Illustrator with my Wacom tablet, and I started drawing some ideas and put something together for him, and I embroidered out on the EM-1010 embroidery machine. Guys, this video is for everybody who has an EM-1010 and wants to embroider on thick, difficult to embroider hats. The EM-1010 is normally not the machine for it. You kind of want an MT-1501 because the MT-1501 can embroider through anything. But in this case, I wanted to show you guys who have an EM-1010 how you can kind of avoid the needle breaking issue. Well, not kind of avoid, you can avoid it actually, and you can embroider on any type of hat, no matter how hard it is, using the Ricoma EM-1010, along with embroidering on the sides of the hats. So I'm going to show you how to do that in this video, so let's dive into it.
Boom, wait a minute, just like that. Boom, 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 just like that. A-Dubb Productions, just like that. Like, comment, subscribe, just like that. Boom, wait a minute, just like that. A-Dubb, you ready? Wait a minute.
Now, this part right here is really, really crucial, and if you don't do this step, then your needle will break every time, especially if it's a thick hat and you have a really, really involved design, all right? What you're gonna need, the secret to this is you're gonna need a steamer. Now, this is a cheap, inexpensive steamer that I bought from Bed Bath & Beyond. You can get one off Amazon. Use my Amazon affiliate link in the description below if you want to purchase one. It has an on switch. I'm just going to hit the on switch so it can start heating up, and that's that. In the meantime, while our steamer is bubbling, I'm just going to hoop our hat. And this is crucial to any embroidery that you're doing, especially on caps. If you don't hoop the hat right, then you can just kiss your design goodbye. It's not going to come out right. Just forget it. I've made a video showing you guys the technique, this hooping technique, and I think I kind of mastered it for structured hats as well as non-structured hats. Hooping, I got this thing down. And now we take our steamer, it's nice and steamy and bubbling, and we just steam the hat. It's not perfect, but the point is to just get the top of the hat nice and hot and damp and loosen it up so that when it's time for the machine to pass through it, for the embroidery machine to pass through it, it'll pass through with no problem and the needle won't break from the seam right here. So just take your time and dampen that hat. Get it nice and damp. It's okay that the water's dripping on it. This is not like a perfect even distribution of steam. Because of this machine is kind of inexpensive, but the point is to just wet the hat so that the fabric is nice and damp, and it gives the needle a nice damp surface to pass through. Now, once you got your hat hooped and the front of the hat is damp, and there's no like race against the clock or anything, and notice I didn't put any stabilizer at the bottom of this hat because it's just that thick. So I'm just going to put my hat in my machine right here, lock it in place, all three of the clips. This one's not locked in. Let's get it locked in. Gotta push that in there. There we go, we're locked in on all three. This one is tight, that one's tight, that one at the bottom's not moving. And now we're going to go ahead and position our needle, put it on needle number 1, and we're just gonna adjust and make sure that this is in the center. Here we go, hit the start button. I hope we don't run out of bobbin thread. I should have changed the bobbin. But looking, you can already see going across that seam, the machine is having no problem at all. Alright, we got our design lined up nice and in the center, and the machine is just going to go ahead and embroider the whole thing. Over here, you can see the machine went to the other side and starting to embroider the other side. I'm just going to let the video play and fast forward so you guys can see the entire thing, and that you guys can see the machine going across that middle part, which is the normal part where the needle breaks. Fun fact, Heem was an artist of A-Dubb Productions, the record label, when I was doing music on a regular basis. See all the layers, right? You got one, you got pretty much 2 layers, but kind of like 3 layers on top of each other. So yeah, that's the benefit of getting the hat a little wet, a little moisture, a little steamer. That steamer is your best friend, especially when using the EM-1010 or even the MT-1501. This can help out a lot with the MT-1501 too, but the MT-1501 just doesn't need it. But you see what this is capable of doing. Just like that, our design is done embroidering on the front. You already see the power of using steam on this machine, right? Just to moisten up the hat. Looks great. Now we're going to rehoop it for the side of the hat. All right, let me just compare it to the other one. Yeah, we're gonna rehoop it for this side of the hat right here. All right, so let me take off the clips real fast, and we are going to adjust the actual physical, the way the hat is sitting on the actual now this is where MT really beats out the EM-1010, because you don't have to rehoop on the MT. You can do the right side and the left side all in one pass. But for the sake of not having an MT right here with me, which I do have an MT by the way, we're just gonna put some stabilizer on the inside of this, and then we're gonna rehoop it. All right, so you got to be strategic when you're rehooping this, because you want to make sure that the metal bar on the side can still close so it can do what it's supposed to do, which is secure the hat. All right, so you got to position this very strategically in a way that you can still utilize that metal brim, and in a way that all your material is still held down nice and good. All right, so that's the objective of this. All right, so you already see where I'm going with this. You see how I'm getting that giving access to this side right here. All right, hoop your hat the same way, kind of, sorta, but you want to bring this around, still keeping it locked in, and make sure that this part right here is locking down that side right here. All right, locking down that side. All right, and try to get it straight. Try to get it straight as possible. Holding down that side, locking that bar right there, and we are cooking on gas. Now this part right here, getting it to click into the machine, is the hardest part right here, because normally you have access to this tab and this tab right here, and because the hat is positioned off to the side a little bit, you don't have all the way access to those tabs to push it in. You see what I mean? So I can push in the 2 on the side, like the one at the bottom and the one at the top right here, but this one right here on this side, actually it locked in. It locked in, so I'm good to go. If yours doesn't lock in, you're gonna have to kind of like finesse it and kind of like finagle it so that it locks in. So all 3 of my tabs have locked in all at once. I'm gonna position and trace. All right, so I'm gonna go fast a little bit. Position it. Let me put on needle number 1. All right, position it real fast. All right, and that's the center right there. Let me slow it down. Oh, just a little bit. Now I'm gonna trace to see exactly where it's gonna embroider. Let me bring it down just a little bit. All right, now let me trace to see exactly where it's gonna embroider. Okay, that's good. That's cool. Now let me contour trace right there, and I don't want it to come past that little perforated mark right there. I'm gonna go over just a little bit more to this side. All right, a little bit more to that side. All right, that's good to me. Trace again. All right, now let's just go ahead and let it start. And let this embroider. Just like that. Now, as this is embroidering, I want you to pay attention and look at how clean the design is embroidering out. even though we didn't use the clips and we don't have the hat all the way locked down, what's important is that you get that bar, the little small metal bar that wraps around the hat. You perfect your hooping technique. Once you perfect your hooping technique, you are good to go, and you can pretty much embroider on everything as long as you got it locked in there correctly. Now, for the MT-1501, when you are embroidering on the right, the left, and the front using one pass, that's when you want to make sure you got the whole hooping technique along with the actual clips down pat. But just the MT-1501, this is the technique, I mean the EM-1010, this is the technique that you use for embroidering on both sides. Now after this is done, I'm just going to repeat the process for the other side, carefully locking it down and making sure that side is locked down with the hat tilted slightly to the side, and embroider the other side, and we're done. Look at that. Look how clean that came out. Let me just get you guys in a little closer, because this part right here gets a little tricky, and that's why you pay what you pay for the MT-1501, so you don't have to re-hoop and don't have to do all this. Now, if I try to lock it down like this, and I go ahead and try to close this up, this side will not lock down on the latch that it's supposed to lock down on. So you have to position this just enough so that you're hooping it right and you're locking this all down, but also so that you're exposing this little latch right here on the side that needs to be exposed for this part right here to lock into. So it's a little bit intricate, a little bit tedious, but if that's what your budget allows, then that's what you're gonna need to do. And on the other side, you gotta kind of get it nice and straight so that you give your machine a nice surface to embroider on. All right, so you don't want to get this too straight. You want to get it slightly to the side right here, a little bit more to the side than you normally get it. Lock that down around here. Bring this around. Drop that down, that latch right there, so that the latch can catch right here. And once it catches in, you're good to go. Let me make sure it catches in. All right, and we're good to go. See how slight that is? That's not so much turned to the side. It's very, very slight. Now I want to show you guys the positioning of this, because it's very important that you get this part right here right on that bill so that you have enough room to embroider on the side of this cap right here. Of course it depends on how big your design is, but I have long lettering, so I need every inch that I can have. So as you guys can see, this clip that locks in right here is right on that bill right there, touching that bill. So I'm taking advantage of the maximum ability, the maximum amount of space that I can on this side. All right, because if I go too far over, it'll give me an x-axis error. So let's put the hat in the machine right now. Let's finish this up. All right, let's put the hat in this machine, and this part is going to be crucial too, because once again, the hat is hooped up in such a way where I don't have access to this metal tab to push it in. So I'm going to have to be creative when pushing this in right here. All right, so let me just go ahead, put the hat in, find that little slot right there, which is right here. Lock in the back of it, lock in the side of it. All right, and this part right here is not locked in, so I'm going to have to just finesse it the best way I can to try to get that locked in. And just like that, I got it locked in. All right, so we get to go on this part. So now we're going to finesse the design. I already loaded up the design. I already twisted it around to where I want it to be. And now we're going to go ahead and see exactly, go ahead and do a trace and see exactly where this thing's going to embroider. All right, so let's see. There we go. Perfect placement right there. Just check out a couple letters. See how clean that's embroidering out? See how straight those lines is? No loss of registration. That's all part of digitizing and knowing what you're doing. Taking off those edge runs and just having a center run for the text. Knowing the right size text, etc., etc. So I'm going to let this finish out and show it to you guys. Alright, And just like that, we're all done. Took a little bit of time and trimmed the inside of the stabilizer off. Now guys, this does take a little bit more time, clearly. If time is not something that you're willing to compromise, then you need the MT-1501. If this is the only thing that's in your budget, then you're gonna have to spend a little bit more time if you want these types of results, right? Get a good quality product using a steamer and rehooping, because you can get the right side as well as the left side as well as the front side, right? And you know, like I said, it's gonna take a little bit more time to produce quantity, but if that's what's in your budget, then that's what's in your budget, right? And it's important that you guys know that you have that option with a little bit of creativity, a little bit of rehooping, a little bit of time to do something like this. All right, so I just wanted to show you guys that real fast. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. I think it came out looking fantastic, but like I said, the MT-1501 can do all of this in one pass, meaning you set it up, you orchestrate, you coordinate the design in digitizing, have the first design in the center, second design on the right, positioned in the right position, positioned on the left, on the right position. Once you get the placements down, you'll be able to do it, right? And then you just press start. It does the front, it automatically turns all the way to the side, does the side, turns all the way to the other side, and does the other side. No rehooping involved with the MT-1501. With the EM-1010, this is what you got to do to get these results. Like I said, a little bit more time, a little bit more skill required as far as hooping is concerned, because you have to be able to position it correctly to get it to line up, and you have to, you know, play with the buttons to get it to put it in the right spot. But it's doable. All right, so let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Now, to me, these designs are placed perfectly on the hat. A lot of times you see people that do embroideries and the design is kind of like, you see these two little dots right here, these two little divots, the two little holes on the hat. You don't want your design to be riding all the way up here, guys. You want your design, some people want their design to be close to the brim as possible. I believe there should be a little bit of space because it just looks good like that. So to me, this placement right here with this little small gap between the brim and the area where I want my design to be is perfect. It's not going above, you know, all the way up here to where these dots are. It's right in the front, in a flat area, taking up this room right here, right front and center. Let me know what you guys think about that, about the placement. And both of them are pretty much in the same position with the same amount of space at the bottom. So yeah, just things you want to pay attention to. We got the left side and we got the right side embroidered using the EM-1010. I mean, you can't beat that look. There's no white bobbin thread peeking through because I got my tension set exactly right. So yeah, if you are in the market to buy a commercial embroidery machine, use my Ricoma affiliate link in the description down below. Now, full disclaimer, now that you know that you can embroider on pretty much any type of hat as long as you can soften it up with a steamer, then you know that kind of like opens up the opportunity for you. But the full disclaimer is, don't think that you can do the same things on the EM-1010 that you can on the MT-1501, because you cannot. The MT-1501 is a tank, it's a workhorse, and it is very, very powerful, and it makes the EM-1010 kind of look like a baby. The EM-1010 is great, I love it, and for those of you guys that own it, I just want to make sure that you guys know that you can embroider on thick needle breaking hats. If you don't steam that hat, the needle will break, right? The needle will break, and you guys know that because I've seen it in forums and stuff like that. But I just want to show you guys a way to get around that, right? As well as embroidering on both sides of the hat by rehooping. Now, I hope this video was helpful. If it was, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and share this video out with your friends. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know if it's something that you tried already. All right, so thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next video. It's your boy, Alan Wade. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram, and follow me on Twitter, and follow me on Facebook, and follow me on TikTok. Talk to you guys later. Peace.
Turn up that, crank it up. Why listen to the rest when you're rocking with the best, baby?